This is my father, Edward VIII, at the top, and this is 1939. This is his brother, George, Elizabeth's father, and this is Roosevelt's wife, Eleanor, and mother of Roosevelt, and then this is Elizabeth's mother, his wife, a Rothschild, too, and this is President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now, I'm going to turn this around to me, the camera. I may show some things in a minute. Maybe you can hear this. I'm not sure. I'm not very well prepared because, quite frankly, I'm sick right now, really, from some fumes and odors. I have an autoimmune disorder, and all you have to do is start painting or remodeling a room and put a lot of stuff in it, and I'm a goner, you know. I got to pick up and try to go somewhere else. Anyway, I wanted to, I've been telling about the Illuminati that kidnapped me and took down my father. And I'll give just this little information because some people would not know what I'm speaking of. My father's Edward VIII, who never married Wallace Warfield Simpson. She married a double. There was more than one double. It went around caused, well, there went, that's how organized. I really feel organized. Oh. You know, everybody has had a chance all my life to help in this, and they haven't. You know, a lady offered to, the other day, there's I've had a couple of ladies over the last month and a half that contacted me and have tried to help. Anybody and everybody could have done something rather than hurting me and my children, breaking laws that are unbelievable, that I can't get into court unless this is all told, and God help me, I may be dead. I've had everything done to me in the book. Put me before Congress, you people that readily put these women that are making these accusations, and they may be true, I don't know. But you kidnapped me and brought me over here, America. You have slaughtered me and my children, my father and mother and my country. So put me up there and give me a halfway decent attorney that's not going to ravage me up there and tell the truth about this whole mess and see where the chips fall. Now, let me get back to this, and I messed up here. How in God's name I could keep it together anyway. I was going to show Wallace Simpson, the double, not my dad. Excuse me if I have strong feelings, because I've only done things to try to help, and everybody's going to live life, so I'm told, face to face more than once. We don't care what's happening to you. We don't want to hear it. We're going to live our life as long as we can. And they believe me. Of course they did. Okay, I usually tell about the Tesla files because they're very important in this. And I don't know how this is going to go, and I don't feel like doing it again, but I feel it's important, okay? And it is. This was in a book, and I don't have the page now, but you can, I've seen a video the other day of Professor John George Trump, MIT grad, and it's connected with the taking of the Tesla files, that he supposedly took them. The Illuminati took them. They had them. You know, I'm not going to go any further on that at the moment. I can't. I got to get this put up what little I can today, and that's about it. I'm so sick. But, you know, if you put me in close quarters where there's toxic fumes, it has to be close quarters and me smelling it. I have to get away from them, or it causes mass inflammation, which is your knees. Right now, I'm getting up the last couple of weeks because of the crap that's gone on in here. Now, I'll go ahead and say it, the pure crap that's gone on in here. My bones have just suddenly they're crunching. I can, sleeping at night, it's horrifying. And anyway, I'm going to stop here babbling. Somebody will say, yeah, lady, take your medicine. Well, I do, since I'm explaining. I take high blood pressure. God help me for having high blood pressure. And I take a medial dose. Oh, it's a pill that I've taken for some 15 years for inflammation caused by toxic fumes, okay? There's no cure. It's an autoimmune disorder. It's been used to run me, chase me up the mountain, down the mountain. After they did all that to me, April Fool Day, and then we can go back to the Watergate tapes and Henry Kissinger, your global who says to Diana when she's giving away gowns, by the way, I paid for the friggin' gowns, he said to her, and I had this picture, I wish I could have kept it, back when she's giving the gowns or auctioning them off for charity. Can you imagine? Charity, I'm the real monarch. And my sons Mark and Scott, not William and Kate and Harry and Meghan, not Charles and his. He divorced. Suddenly all these crimes my father didn't commit are welcomed in the so-called fake royal wedding. You just don't call it fake. So now I've said enough. Let me go on and get this up so I can... Anyway, you've got Donald Trump's uncle that he grew up with, and I've written down some comments made by where he had a lot of exposure to what, not only what I've been talking about, the Tesla files. You would have to see the experiments, the Philadelphia experiment, but this goes on way out from what anybody's been told to the general public. It really has. And I don't doubt that there's a space program that's kept quiet for all these years. I don't doubt that they've even gone to other planets and kept it quiet. And I don't doubt that this is the end times either, because of, I wouldn't have said it a few years back, but it certainly comes to that, really. But I want to get back to this. It's, well, okay, let me say just a little bit, and then I hope I have enough time left on it to tell the other. It's like the Tesla files. What I wrote about was you can cure an illness or create one. And I started in 1976, and murders were being done in patterns. And for my knowledge, I found out they were being done, or as simple as being done, with a ham set and teaching you at a low frequency. You're not aware you're hearing. Teaches you the Morse code, so you're a puppet. You become a puppet on a string there. And your civil rights, this whole thing is so absurd. Your civil rights are destroyed then and there. And somebody else, agency, whoever, because over the years it's certainly gotten more sophisticated. So, well, now I'm going to get away from what I started to say. It's the most gross civil right violation you've ever heard of. You don't even know you're being programmed. You certainly didn't give your consent. It was done without your knowledge. And let's say you end up like Scott Peterson on death row and praying somebody can get you out of it. He may not. I think Scott Peterson probably knows what happened to him now. Look at the people who have been on death row or in prison for crimes they didn't commit. And since mind control is invisible, it's done with signals, a low frequency. You don't even know you're getting it. Put the chip in a lot of babies when they're born or their first few years. God knows how many people are chipped now. Now let me get off of this for a minute and backtrack a little. I just saw where India, the Prime Minister of India, is having all the people from India chipped. That's for one reason. It's not to help you wave your little hand and make it convenient for you to walk into a store and have your money there, and you don't have to go to all this trouble. They make it sound like it's a good thing. Well, they're forcing it. You're going to have to take it. So this is the mark of the beast, what I've been talking about. and the chipping and programming people, mind control. You can create cancer, you can cure it. You can program Robin Williams to appear to commit suicide, and it's murder by mind control, and the motive is in the hands of the programmer. That's the reason you can't find the programming in all these people, like the Las Vegas shooter, what's his name? Paddock. I knew there was something with the name Paddock and Trump. Okay, nothing against Trump, okay, but okay. I was just going to read a little bit of this, and I won't get any of it up, and I may not put this up. It's telling about the Tesla files. This is nothing to what was really in there that was stolen. Particle beam weapons worldwide, radar, earthquakes, contrivance, brainwave manipulation. One or more magnifying transmitters could supposedly send destructive impulses through the earth at any location. Well, it keeps on going there with it. Tesla weapons include apparatus for seismic, weather, and mind control. According to Bearden, the Tesla magnifying transmitter produced a fundamental one-point gravity vector, or electrostatic scalar wave, that moved at the sound of light. I'm going to stop there. I want to go a little further here. I want to show that this is, again, the woman. Well, I'm dropping it all. I'm not feeling good. This is what it does to me, that being around chemicals, especially when some jerk was sitting here. You think I get a little, I better not go into that. Okay. Anyway, after I wrote about mind control and so much happened to me, and you want to get back to the 18-minute gap and a half-minute gap, that was and Bob Woodward doesn't tell about this. He's going after, got a new book being publicized by the Illuminati press that helped kidnap me, Rockefeller's Rothschild, and that's what I'm trying to get to here. I can hear it now. Somebody's going to come back. Well, you babbling woman, take your pill. And then there's the nice people, thank God, or somebody for them that come along and kind of level it out. Okay. Now where'd I get to? I had been writing about how you cure the Tesla files. You could cure an illness or create it. And it involved Trump's uncle and professor from MIT. And God knows, if you get into following this thread that connects a lot of things, you find out how many colleges, California specifically, that got into this LSD experiments and doing supposedly what they get as grants. This is what I was tying back, but not say Center for Disease Control, back in 78 and 79, and the aftermath of what happened to me and me doing the book. Of course, a few people are saying it now, but they don't give me credit on anything. I'm sitting here doing the same thing I've always done and being treated the same way I've always been treated, only I'm 79, almost 80 years old. So let me try to get back to where I was going, if I can get there. So much of this I find with Trump, President Trump. He's become president. That was his uncle in this mind control and all this other, the files, Tesla files, actually. Okay, you can cure cancer way back before then. So all this research into finding cures for any of this could be cured a long time ago, 1930. I'm writing about it. And I don't know. Not many people want to hear it unless you put it up and make the Illuminati press. You start locking them up. I long to see them handcuffed. Handcuff them, sad you can't get them from way back. Okay, now in case if anybody's still with me here, a church, Rainbow Forest sent this person up here, bought the book, sent it to me. I was living on the Appalachian Trail. Said, this is what you've been telling about. And I was telling about this in 76. Tex Marr's book, and he wrote several good ones. And he's deceased, but and Tex Marr's and was Tex Mars and the other, I've forgotten which one did this. Both of them are, I'll give them credit for being good. They've never mentioned me, but then here's what came out. They sent the book up there on the trail. I'm living there, freezing, starving, no water. I mean, really, snakes, bears, people that, okay, you get the drift. Okay, this is implantable biochips. Project Lucid. And it's telling here about, it mentions, I'm going to put this, it mentions the mark of the beast. It mentions Timothy McVeigh, who I'd already said was a mind control victim, and he was put to death. He says here that the Army U.S. Army put a chip up his buttocks. He told you the truth. He's dead. For whatever reason, he included this about William, that he had a chip in him in case he was kidnapped. Well, it's my son that would be the monarch. I'm the legal monarch, and I am at this moment, the moment I was born. This person knows it. The whole group of them know it. Elizabeth, her whole brood, and all the outreach of my family. Some of them have tried to help me, but these people could tell the truth. William and Kate, Harry and Meghan. With Meghan, they're playing a race card to South Africa that gets into all this supposedly civil rights. They hand you this bull when it's the and Martin Luther King. Maybe you'd like to know how Martin Luther King helped he and Andrew Young. And therein, here's the connection with Andrew Young to the United Nations that I wanted to make. So I'm going to get off of that right there. The only other thing I want to say is in this one, I was writing about putting chips in people, root canal. Larry Flynt was shot. And I usually show Larry Flynt where he did an editorial in Hustler in April '84 saying I knew who was responsible for his shooting in Atlanta. Well, he near Atlanta in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And I was doing the book in Marietta about mind-controlled murders. And he mentioned Congressman, doctor, urologist Larry McDonald from Piedmont Hospital there, who was supposed to go down in the KAL August 31st of '83. So I was in that campaign, and this is the first time I'd met Mr. Flint. But I knew back in '78 when he was shot that it was a program shooter, and his attorney was killed, and the judge was badly wounded. So he was under mind control. Now, mind you, you can use any weapon. It's unlimited, and they do it by satellite now rather than ham set. So how thrilling that all is, right? And here was civil rights, because this is what you get into with the Illuminati. They took out my father because he wouldn't go along with them, Edward VIII. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, American school teacher, sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe from Sun Prairie, which is really a suburb of Madison, Wisconsin. So my father wouldn't go along with them. Well, this didn't sit well with the Illuminati, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedy clan. JFK helped kidnap me. His father was appointed ambassador to England by another Jew, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And I don't know if I showed you the picture. I'm going to show it real quick again because, well, I don't know if I will or not. It's a picture of... well, I put it up here before, so anyway.